This is the John Brown Alliance, where we don't fear, we fight. We are upon the Jewish holidays right now. So I want to say to the individuals in the Trump administration, Jared Kushner, Stephen Miller, Shalom, your ass is not white. There are 340 million Americans in the United States of America. And according to Answers.com, only 10% of the world population is genetically white. The world, not America. So you ain't running shit up in here. Now, to the Cash Patels of the world and others that think you can placate to Donald Trump, including black people in the Democratic Party and people who took money from AIPAC, you're what we call next. In Hitler's Germany, they used crippled people, retarded people, black people, LGBTQ people, and people that thought they fit in, and people who said the right words at the right time so that they can just get along. They were the last people to be executed. Not only that, they were conscribed to burn bodies, put people in gas chambers, put people before firing squads, and take them out of their homes and all of their worldly possessions. Were they there to enjoy them? No, they were not. A good example is someone like Rudy Giuliani. He spent his whole career getting rid of the Italian mafia, now white, so that he could make room to organize the worst criminal empire that ever invaded the United States of America. Now, you can have your opinions or not about the Italian mafia, but in my personal opinion, growing up in that environment, I truly believe we were better off with them than we are with the people that Rudy Giuliani prosecuted so that he could put white supremacists in power. So why did he do that? In the 1980s, if you went up to most Italians in New Jersey and called them white, you would get your teeth knocked out. Now all of a sudden they're white. People like Ted Cruz, white, not Ron DeSantis, Justice Alito. Back when I was growing up, they were guineas and wetbacks. And now all of a sudden, because black excellence has become a threat to white society, they have been incorporated there. Same with the Jews. And now, even though they don't realize that they're being used, you have white Latinos. Good for you. I've gotten several messages from my post up here with white Latinos. I'm proud to be white. Motherfucker, how many of your relatives have been deported? And when are you next? We have seen this movie before. As a Native American and a descendant of slaves, you can puff your chest out and think you're white all you want. But we're going to work you off the job. We do every time. Every single time you have one of these racial exterminations, Native Americans and black people survive. But I don't know how many thousands of Latino Americans have been deported. But yet, white people who have no dog in this fight, black people and Native Americans have stood up for you. But yet you dumbasses did this back in 2016. You did it with George Bush even before that. And you did it again. And now you expect everybody to help you. So don't be surprised if they don't. I will, because I stand up for human rights. But don't expect, once this is over, that you're going to be the next white man. Because no, motherfucker, you fit into that 10% of the population. Everybody that took part in accepting a 34-time felon into the White House. Someone who usurped the United States Constitution that black people and red people fought for way before you got here. Your dumb deeds will not be forgotten this time. And that goes for members of Congress and Senate. You are not excused from your past at all. We know who you are, how you voted, and what you did. And the fact that you support 10% of the world population, and not all of them are white supremacists, that you decided to be on the wrong side of history, you will be held accountable. Now, I will stand up for everybody that I think is in need of help. But you fuck me once, shame on you. Fuck me twice, shame on me. And that's the way I'm going to play the game from here on out. And that's the way I'm going to put it to everybody. I am not going to excuse this shit like we did the last Reconstruction era after the Civil War. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to ask black people or red people to rise above. And when they go low, we go high. Fuck no. I think after 400 some odd years of black people being enslaved and made the enemy when they did nothing to any white person in this country other than be human trafficked, I'm not going to do that. And if you do it, you're an idiot. And not only an idiot, but karma is a bitch. It really is. Now, like I said, the Jewish holidays are coming up. Who raised you? We have a whole bunch of faux Aryans and true Jews out here, including the head of the Anti-Defamation League. All of a sudden, all he cares about is getting on Morning Joe and placating to Donald Trump and buying into this fear that the Jewish people are being targeted, that there's all this anti-Semitism. Where is that at? Then the colleges are caving? For what the fuck for? How many Jews from the Anti-Defamation League are in Chicago, Washington, D.C., California, and every single place that ICE is targeting citizens, abusing them in the streets, taking their personal property and disappearing them? Where's the Anti-Defamation League? Huh, you bald-headed Jew motherfucker? But yet you get on Morning Joe and MSNBC talking about how you're so hurt and you're so, your life is in danger. But yet you're out there wearing a suit in a studio in New York City. An hour or two after an entire neighborhood of black people were dragged out of Chicago into the streets, naked, zip-tied, and left to sit there for hours, as ICE made a porn video for the stupid administration that you support, for fascism that you support. When this is over, I got no love for you. And I got a whole lot of other organizations that I'm going to point out before this shit is over. Because I am not done. Because I, full stop, along with other black Indians and people of color, we're the original gangsters up in this motherfucker. We're the ones who have been carrying your load and your water since day one, while you profit off of the color of your skin. We don't wash this off. And guess what? You ain't gonna wash yours off either. Because like Martin Luther King said, America wrote us a check a long time ago, but it never got paid, and it's gonna get paid. Because before this is over, John Brown's body is not the only one you're gonna be singing about. I am really not disenchanted or pissed off enough to allow these idiots to control my feelings. I won't do that. My energy is channeled on survival. Not how I look to the Republican Party and whether they think I'm a threat or not. I don't give 1.5 fucks. I really don't. I don't give 2 fucks about what somebody in Congress thinks of me. What I give a fuck about at the end of the day is that I can look at myself in the mirror and be at peace with myself. Nobody owns me. Nobody tells me what to do. And that is the ultimate freedom. And you need to get it too. There is no fear in being right. Now, people say if you're not afraid, you're stupid. That's not true. I have never feared any conflict I have been involved in since I entered civil rights my whole life. Because I knew I would sit before you today. So fear, there's no room for that now. That time is over. There is only time to react. My mentor, John Brown, gave his life for this country. He wasn't a veteran. He wasn't a celebrity. He wasn't anybody. And then he sacrificed his own sons. He wasn't worried about a government shutdown, getting a paycheck, having health care, or being able to afford food. He did the exact same thing I am willing to do without having a badge or a title. He was willing to die for what he believed in. That is absolutely all I'm about. And that is absolutely everything that the John Brown Alliance is about. Family is everything. Find your family. And get willing to give your life for them. Because the people that you're afraid of is not going to give anything for you. And as long as you keep paying them by paying your taxes and doing what they say and being afraid of them, they're going to use everything they can get from you against you. All I know in my life is how to do right by my brother or sister. That's all I know. I don't know anything different. I don't know politics the way you do. I don't know how to play games. I don't know how to do that. I just know how to be true to myself and stand up and defend and fight for and die for what I hold sacred. It's called love. And no organization, no party, and no man is going to stop me from defending what I absolutely love. Even if it means I die. That is what John Brown stood for, and that's what I stand for. This is the John Brown Alliance. When you see something wrong, do something right.